Hello guys, it is Gate of Theories here, and guys, since it's the start of a brand new year, it's always good to look back at the year that we've just had, and so today I thought we'd look back at the year the MCU has had. This year we saw the introduction of the Disney Plus shows, we had lots and lots of different movies, so I thought today we'd compare all of them in a very own 2021 MCU tier list. Let's get into it, but before we go any further, please make sure that you click that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we make any brand new tier list videos. And if you want to check this out yourself, there'll be a link down below in the description for you to go and check it out. Let's get into it. So here we are on our tier list, and I have all of the different MCU projects that they've done this year, and I've put them in order of release date. We're just going to go through each one of them, we'll see which ones do well and which ones don't. And again, this is just my own personal opinion. Make sure that you let me know your very own thoughts down below in the comments, as you'll probably disagree with me. I have lots of unpopular Marvel opinions. Let's get into it. So first we have WandaVision. Now this one, just for what it was doing, I think is absolutely amazing. The style it was going for, just the intrigueness of these first few episodes were absolutely incredible for me. It was something that Marvel had never done before, and it kind of set the precedent for what the other Marvel TV shows would be like. They would be experimental, they would be different, not just the same from the movies. And I think seeing Wanda and Vision in a sitcom together, like, I never thought I'd ever see something like that. I didn't know I'd ever need to see something like that, but I'm so glad that I did. The first few episodes were so intriguing, and you were like, what on earth is going on? Then by the fourth episode, when we see Monica and Jimmy Woo and Darcy, and it was all really interesting to see how life was like outside of the Hex while inside of the Hex. I thought it was really intriguing, and I was really loving it. The only downside is, unfortunately, the ending. I love Agatha all along, but I just thought the final episode to this epic story that we'd had just was a huge letdown. I didn't really care that much for the fight between Wanda and Agatha. Like, I thought it was okay. The bit that really annoyed me was the fight between Vision and White Vision. I thought that would have been absolutely amazing, and we only get about like 2 minutes with them fighting in like a library, and that's about it. Like, I needed more of it. So unfortunately, it started really strong, but it had a really bad letdown. So I think I'm going to put it in the A tier because it was very intriguing. So it was still really decent, but, you know, ended really badly. Next we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and on the other hand, for me, this was basically the complete opposite. Instead, it started off not the best, but the ending was incredible. What I absolutely loved about this was the theming, was kind of like the subtext to it and the themes that it dealt with, and I thought it did it really, really well. I love the idea of Sam taking on the shield. Personally, I know some people think that Bucky should take the shield. I think Bucky's better as just the Winter Soldier, and I love seeing Sam as the Captain America. And what I love is the ending where it changes from Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Like, what is more epic than that? The only downside for me was the beginning. I thought it was really, really slow, especially since we just had WandaVision, which was kind of like quick-paced sitcom-y. This was very slow and almost boring in certain cases for me. Now, I get it was trying to set up like a really epic and bigger story, so I understood why it was slow at the beginning, but like that first episode, I can't rewatch because I just find it incredibly boring. But the ending was really good. I love all of the action scenes, and this is my type of Marvel. I love the Captain America Marvel films, so it's gonna go in the S tier. Next we have Loki, probably the most anticipated Marvel MCU Disney Plus show, and it was interesting. I really did like it. I loved how we got to see an alternative version of Loki, and the aspects of different variants and time travel, and the female Loki was absolutely incredible. The only downside was there were really big highs and just really low lows that were just really, really boring. I felt like it was a weird wave type thing. It peaked in certain episodes and then unfortunately went really down in other episodes. There were really big highlights, like the first episode really intriguing, the fourth episode I thought was really good, the fifth, the sixth episode I didn't really like as much, the third I didn't really know what was going on in there. Lots of it was just kind of a bit of a mixed bag, I have to say. But it was intriguing nevertheless, and I really did like how we finally got introduced to Kang the Conqueror, and I'm glad this is getting a season 2. So it's going to go in the A tier. I don't think it's as good as these other two, but it's decent. Next we have Black Widow. Now, there are many, many mixed opinions on this film. Some people absolutely hate it, and some people absolutely love it. I've never really seen anyone who's ever in between. For me, I absolutely love it. It's top S tier, and there's one big reason for that. It's Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff in her own MCU film. It's what I've always wanted. I think the reason why this film gets so much hate is purely because it had to be postponed by a full year, didn't get a cinema release, instead got a Disney Plus release for Premiere Access, so not many people actually saw it when it first came out. And the problem was, with it being waiting a year and coming straight off the back of Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, we'd had Spider-Man Far From Home deal with the after effects of Iron Man dying, we'd had Falcon and the Winter Soldier dealing with the after effects of Captain America dying. This had to deal with kind of like the prequel to Endgame, and unfortunately, with all that time and anticipation and theorizing of a year and a half and almost up to 2 years, it's no wonder that this ended up letting lots of people down, because it had been hyped up way too much. But for me, I was going in with open eyes. I hadn't really theorized that much about it, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the family dynamics. I loved Yelena. And to see Natasha get her own solo film and to just have one brilliant last hurrah, I absolutely loved it. Next, we have What If. The idea for What If, with the whole multiverse and the variants and the different type of storylines, I absolutely loved the idea of. Unfortunately, I feel like the MCU thought it was going for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it just wasn't. The animation is okay, but to be honest, I just kind of found most of the episodes quite boring, and it was such a shame, because the ideas, like what if Peggy Carter was Captain Britain, what if Doctor Strange turned into Doctor Strange Supreme, which we're probably going to be getting into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, like all of these were really great ideas, and I'd love to see them in a live action, but the animation, it just didn't really stand out to me, and the stories themselves weren't the best. So I think it's going to go in the C tier. I enjoyed it a little bit, but compared to these, definitely not. Next we have Shang-Chi. I really liked Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I thought it was really great. It was one of the first ones that I saw back in the cinema. I thought that was really good, but there was one problem with it. It started off absolutely amazingly. Like, you have that fight on the bus. It's incredible. You're wondering who Shang-Chi is. You have the fight on the scaffolding up the building. That was really great. Seeing his past, seeing the, you know, mystical, weird maze forest. All of these incredible ideas. And then from about the halfway point, from when we get introduced to the actor Mandarin, it just all goes downhill. Like, it seems to have lost its vibe. And then it just ended up being really bad by the end of it. So it's a mixed bag. I think it's a B tier. Like, brilliant start, but it just, I don't know what it is. As soon as they meet the actor who played the Mandarin, suddenly it just switches and it goes really boring. So I don't understand. Next we have The Eternals. Now, surprisingly, The Eternals was such an anticipated and hyped up movie, but then it just didn't follow through for many people, and loads of people. I haven't really met anyone who said they really just like this film. Most people absolutely hated this film. For me, however, I'm an unpopular opinion person, and I actually really did like this film. I thought it was interesting to see all these people. I thought the person who played Cersei was incredible. We had Jon Snow there. That's all we need. And I just thought it was a fun time. Like, it was an interesting way around it. And I loved how it introduced loads and loads of different type of superpowers and all that sort of stuff. Is it the best Marvel film I've ever seen? No, obviously not. But I didn't think it deserved the hate that it got. So I think it's going to go A tier. I enjoyed it. Next we have, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. Spoilers coming up in 3, 2, 1. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, all in one film. S tier. That's all I've got to say. You know exactly what I mean. Spider-Man No Way Home, the multiverse, the Spider-Verse, live action. You can't get any better. I honestly, I don't think I've ever, like, been in a cinema room where I have stood up and clapped several times. And I did. And it was amazing. And finally, we have Hawkeye. Probably the least anticipated Marvel MCU Disney Plus show. And I think it's just because Hawkeye, he's always seen as the joke, as the meme, as just the guy with no superpowers who just has bow and arrow. But to be honest, I actually really like this. Like, as a holiday treat, as just like something to celebrate at the end of Marvel's 2021, I thought it was really good. I love how Yelena was in it. I thought that was brilliant. Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, I love. Jeremy Renner dealing with Hawkeye and with the Ronin situation from Endgame. I thought that was tied up really nicely. The only bad side of it, I thought, was the ending. I liked Echo, but Kingpin returning was fine, but then he was really easily defeated. I feel like he's definitely going to return, else that's just a bit of a waste. But to be honest, this was just like a really fun time. Like, it wasn't trying to do anything really incredible and really impactful like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like Loki, and it wasn't trying to stand out like What If or WandaVision. Instead, he was just having a laugh at Christmas, and that's what I really liked. So, Hawkeye's going in the S tier. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let us know down below in the comments, do you agree with my picks? Do you agree with this tier list that I've done, and what would you change about it? And what did you think of the Marvel Cinematic Universe 2021 slate? Personally, I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm so excited for 2022. Let me know all your thoughts down below, and as always, we've been here on Gated Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.